You ready, Kirby? All right. No, I'm not making a motion to start the meeting. I'm just going to start the meeting. I'll call the meeting to order at 5:30. Let the notes show that Trustee Nelson is absent tonight. And we need to remove item 8J, right? The Cross and Crown lease agreement, and it'll come back at a different time. Are there any other adjustments or changes to the agenda? All right. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda as amended? Can I get a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 4-0 with 1 absent. We will now convene to closed session. Everyone's ready. All right. We call the meeting to order at 6:02. Report of action taken in closed session. Can I get a motion to approve case number 2223-04-SE?
I'll motion to approve.
Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Roll call?
Trustee Johnson,
Yes.
Trustee Brown,
Yes.
Trustee Martin,
Aye.
Trustee Wing.
Yes. All right. Please join me in the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. All right. And we have no public comment, so moving on to special recognitions. Introduction of Educational Service Director, Rachel Allen.
Good evening. The Director of Educational Services is a cabinet-level position. The selection process was competitive and comprehensive, and we are pleased to announce Ashley DeGrano as our new Director of Education Services. Ashley is an educational leader with 17 years of experience serving schools, districts, and counties across the Bay Area. Her roles in education have spanned a secondary teacher, site administrator, special education coordinator, and most recently, Ashley served as the Director of Student Services for the Marin County Office of Education. Ashley is excited to join a district and to work more closely with school site staff and to support student growth. Her personal leadership philosophy is rooted in the belief that schools function best when people feel seen and empowered to lead together. Her work is grounded in the belief that strong schools and communities are built through relationships and belonging. She is especially passionate about creating systems where students are known, educators feel empowered, and community members act as our partners in strengthening dignity and care for all. A lifelong learner, Ashley is currently a doctoral candidate at the University of San Francisco, where her education continues to shape her thinking and practice around leadership, organizational culture, and belonging. Outside of work and school, you can find Ashley on the sports field with her kids, cooking and listening to records with her partner, and collecting art and sneakers. Welcome to Ashley.
Welcome. We're excited to have you. Awesome. Thank you. Thanks for coming out tonight.
Okay.
Normally it's packed out there, I swear. It's just, you know. Sold out most nights. Thank you. All right. Next up, we have introduction of Evergreen Elementary Assistant Principal.
All right. After a competitive selection process, including 2 rounds of interviews with representatives from the community and our union partners, Kimberly Lloyd was selected as the new Evergreen Elementary Assistant Principal. Kim is honored to have been selected to serve in this role and is looking forward to the year ahead. Kim has worked for the Cotati-Rohnert Park Unified School District for a year as a site and program administrator. She served as assistant principal and the special education program specialist at John Reed Elementary. Prior to joining Cotati-Rohnert Park, she worked for Two Rock Union School District, where she taught in both general and special education settings and held a variety of leadership roles supporting student achievement and school improvement efforts. Before entering public education, Kim served in a leadership position with the Boys and Girls Club of Petaluma, building programs and supporting children, families, and staff throughout the community. Kim brings a well-rounded background in both general and special education, along with a deep commitment to creating inclusive, supporting learning environments where all students can thrive. She holds a bachelor's degree in environmental studies from Sonoma State, a master's degree in education from Dominican University, and earned her preliminary admin credential through the North Coast School of Education. As an educational leader, Kim is passionate about supporting staff, partnering with families, and fostering a strong sense of belonging for every student. She lives in Petaluma with her husband and their twin 10-year-old boys. They enjoy spending time in nature, watching movies, and reading. Kim is excited to join the Evergreen community and is eager to work alongside students, staff, families, and community members to support the continued success of Evergreen School. Thank you.
Congratulations, Kim.
Thank you.
Yeah?
Thank you, family, for being there to support our new staff. We're very excited.
Yes. All right, moving right along. Reports and communications, trustee reports and activities. Trustee Johnson.
I attended the graduation, which was just lovely. Thank you for all the ducks, all the Rancho Cotati High School, and congratulations to El Camino and to Tech High.
Trustee Brown?
So ditto on the graduations, for the high schools. I got to give kudos to one speech. The Tech High valedictorian speech I thought was priceless. Over the years, a lot of speeches are good, but his speech was just amazing. He did this analogy of a girlfriend and how one girlfriend didn't accept him, and then another girlfriend that did, and we're all thinking, oh my God, he's sharing this stuff about girlfriends and not getting accepted. And then he drops it like, well, the first girlfriend was MIT, and the second girlfriend was Berkeley, and I just thought, oh, it was just amazing. I just thought that was the way he did it was just super. And then I was at two events at Hahn. I was at a school barbecue, and then an award ceremony. No, the kindergartners sang.
Mhm.
So that was priceless to see my second to youngest grandchild perform. So some of the others are further away, so it's harder. And then I was able to, since our graduations were early this year, I always complain about them not being on Friday. My grandson graduated on Friday in Morgan Hill, so that was exciting seeing him and going through that. And then just kind of critiquing our graduations versus theirs. We did an amazing job for high school graduations, and I can remember when the ranch was a different format, when all the parents were sitting on the field type of thing. When you get that many people, and people bringing umbrellas when they shouldn't bring umbrellas, and trying to behave and then running up for pictures. I think the way we do it is just great. And then, the amount of time and all graduations are good. I just think we do a little bit better job than the one that I enjoyed my grandson's graduation, but I was a little bit perturbed by people standing up and running in front of you when you're all on the same level for pictures. It's hard, but good time of year, fun time of year. So
Super fun.
anyway.
There we go. Trustee Martin?
I was able to join Thomas Page promotion, which was quite inspiring. I always like going there. And then, of course, the commencement for El Camino, Tech High, and Rancho.
Perfect.
It's great.
All right. I too went to all of the commencement ceremonies. I will give myself kudos. I held myself together way better than I thought I was going to. So I was proud of that. And it was really meaningful to me. It was actually in second or third grade that I first started thinking about being on the school board because of the kids that graduated this year. So it was my son's class that graduated, and that's when I started thinking I want to be more involved and I want to see what's going on. And I at that point, and I still do think it shouldn't be this hard. We've been educating kids for billions of years. It shouldn't be this hard, And then I joined the board and realized there's a lot of bureaucracy and red tape. But so it was really, really cool seeing these kids and just reminding myself and all of us, why we do this and why we come every day. And it's not easy. And there's a lot of unnecessary burdens put on us from the bureaucracy, but it's really cool watching these kids cross the stage, and these kids are doing amazing things, going into amazing careers, going to some pretty impressive colleges, serving our military, all kinds of different things, and they're all doing exactly what's right for them, and that's what's really, really cool. So I had a lot of fun. Yep. I did.
Okay, good evening, everyone. So I too was at the promotion and graduation ceremonies and award ceremonies. We also had Elko, Rancho, and Tech High award ceremonies as well. And everything was, I really want to thank the principals and their teams for putting together such beautiful ceremonies. They were efficient. They had thought of so many different little nuanced things that made all of those ceremonies go off really well. We are also in the middle of hiring season. We're very grateful to our 2 new hires tonight and very excited to continue and to work with them. But we are still working on some other hiring, and we will be bringing those forward to you in June. We also had a little staff celebration. We went out and it was nice to be able to relax with the administrative team and just share in some fun for a couple of hours. So it's been a busy couple of weeks, but things are slowing down a little bit now. So thank you for the opportunity.
Great. I want to add one more thing to my report. While I did not go, my child did, and I just wanted to give a shout out to the Project Grad team. They continue to do this event every single year. This year they switched it up, and it was done at the Epicenter down in Santa Rosa. And from every student that I've talked to that has gone, they said it was the most amazing night of their life. And it was beyond anything any of them ever expected. So I am sorry that I was unable to actually participate the night of, but I just want to say thank you to that group that continues to put this on. And, you know, they have the same challenges every year. They were asking for volunteers up until the moment it started. So, but I just want to say thank you to them because the students the words they are using is excellent, most amazing, fantastic night of my life, like all these great things. So, so thank you for doing that for our community. Yes. All right, consent agenda. Can I get a motion to approve items 8A through K, but no J?
Can I just
Yeah,
make one comment
absolutely,
in general
please.
about this? So I had originally pulled a bunch of these, or was going to pull a bunch of these, and then I talked to staff today. But going forward, this is a request I have. I mean, you consider it in your new format. Is when we're spending money, I would like to know if it's a recurrence of the prior year, and I'd like to know what the increase is, and where exactly the funding's coming from. Is it coming from general fund? Is it coming from a grant? Is it coming from one-time funds or et cetera? So that just helps me understand the detail of it.
Yeah.
And so, because I was concerned, we're approving a number of contracts and that, and then if it is an increase, let's say we've got a contract for 100 and it goes to 150,000, where does the $50,000 increase come from? Does that come from general fund or whatever? And so increases mean something else because of our set budget. Increases mean that something else we don't spend as much money on, or you go into your reserve. So it's just kind of the fiscal watchdog that I am, and conservative then that I would just, going forward, as I see these items, I'd like to know that. Thanks.
Great. Sounds good. All right. Any more questions or discussion about the consent agenda? All right. Can I get a motion to approve items 8A through K, but no J?
So moved.
Can I get a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 4-0 with one absent. Personnel Services, approval of job description of Community Schools CCSPP Wellness Coordinator.
Thank you. Tonight, we're asking for your approval to a revision of the existing wellness coordinator job description to establish a community schools wellness coordinator position as a distinct classified position. This revision reflects the expanded scope of the community schools wellness coordinator role, which includes greater emphasis on resource navigation, community outreach, and collaboration, and the leadership of the Wellness Advisory Committee in alignment with the district's community schools model. It was revised to distinguish this position from the standard wellness coordinator classification because this particular position is grant funded. There is no change to the salary range, and you will see at our next board meeting that we will just add this
if this job description is accepted tonight, that we would add this to our existing salary schedule, just the title.
And it's not an additional headcount either, right? We're taking the one that was
No.
kind of Rancho focused and making it
Yes.
community schools focused.
Yes and no to that question. Yes, it's not an additional headcount, but it is the position at John Reed.
Right.
And the Rancho remains with the current job description, and then this new job description would be the John Reed position.
Perfect. Awesome. Any other questions? All right, can I get a motion to approve the job description for Community Schools Wellness Coordinator?
I move.
Can I get a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 4-0 with one absent. No educational services, so on to business services. Resolution 2026-36, authorization to make transfers between fund balances and expenditures at close of year per Ed Code 42601.
So this first item is for, as we approach the close of the school year, 25-26, if there are any fund balances that are negative, that we can borrow from other funds to make those whole for, as of June 30th.
Right.
This is a recurring resolution that we do every year.
Any questions? Can I get a motion to approve Resolution 2026-36?
I'll motion to approve.
Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Roll call?
Trustee Johnson,
Yes.
Trustee Brown,
Yes.
Trustee Martin,
Aye.
Trustee Wing.
Yes. Resolution 2026-37, to establish temporary interfund transfers of special or restricted fund monies.
So this is to start us off for 26-27 school year, which is July 1st. And as similarly, if we have negative balances in any of our funds, that other funds can cover us before the county gives us a loan.
Great. Any questions? Can I get a motion to approve Resolution 2026-37?
So moved?
A second?
I'll second.
Roll call?
Trustee Johnson,
Yes.
Trustee Brown,
Yes.
Trustee Martin,
Aye.
Trustee Wing.
Yes. All right. Next, we have our presentation of the 26-27 Local Control Accountability Plan, our LCAP, and I would like to invite Amelia Circo. Thank you for being here tonight.
Hi, everybody.
Wait, I have very important things to read here. Item 12A, Amelia Circo will be presenting the preliminary local control accountability plan. Item 12B will be a public hearing to solicit the recommendations and comments of the public regarding the specific actions and expenditures to be updated in the 26-27 local control accountability plan.
Thank you.
Carry on.
Hi, everybody. Good evening. Board President Wing, fellow trustees, Superintendent Iteri, cabinet members, staff, students, and community members. My name is Amelia Circo. It is my privilege tonight to present to you the annual update of the Cotati-Rohnert Park Unified School District 26-27 Local Control Accountability Plan, also known as the LCAP. The LCAP is our district's 3-year strategic plan to help all students succeed, and tonight we will review the LCAP, and at next week's board meeting, it will be brought back to you for approval. The LCAP is a strategic planning tool that helps California school districts establish goals, identify actions, and allocate resources to improve student outcomes and support student success. The annual review provides an opportunity to reflect on our progress, evaluate the effectiveness of our actions and services, and ensure our resources remain aligned to support student success and continuous improvement. During an annual review, the district collaborates and receives input from our educational partners. Educational partners include families, staff, students, and community members. We meet with them to gather input that guides our goals and ensures our plans reflect the needs of our school community. Throughout the year, the district engaged educational partners through LCAP and DLAC meetings, site-based feedback sessions, surveys, student forums, leadership meetings, and administrator collaboration. These opportunities ensured that students, families, staff, and community members had a voice in shaping the district priorities and planning efforts. So I'm going to go through our annual goal review now.
Amelia, I have a quick question, and I should
Absolutely.
know this. What year are we in the 3-year cycle?
We are in the final year of the three-year
Okay.
cycle.
Thank you.
Yeah, so at the end of this year, there'll be an annual review. So at the end of 26, 27, they'll do an annual review just like what we did here for this. And then you'll also have presented the new LCAP for the next 3-year session. So when I started, that's what I presented. Now I'm ending and I'm leaving you with the end of it.
Thank
Just
you.
to be clear,
You're welcome.
26, 27 is the third year, yeah.
Yes. Within Goal 1, which again, just as a reminder, is our student achievement goal, one key success was the completion of our guaranteed standards work, including the identification of standards, aligned curriculum resources, and common formative assessments to support consistent instruction. Based on this progress, we've modified Action 111 to further strengthen college and career readiness through expanded CTE partnerships, dual enrollment opportunities, and alignment with workforce needs. Moving forward, we're going to continue to build and evaluate these pathways to ensure students are prepared for both college and career success. Goal 2, just as a reminder, we refer to that as our social emotional goal. Within Goal 2, a key success was the successful implementation of student support advisors at all TK through 8 sites, expanding direct support for students and families. As we move forward, we will focus on strengthening the consistency and fidelity of our SEL curriculum, which is our social emotional curriculum, moving forward. With our SEL curriculum implementation across grade levels and sites, we have also enhanced Action 2.10 by expanding suspension and expulsion diversion supports through mental health partnerships, parent education, and targeted intervention services to better support student well-being and success. Our Goal 3, as a reminder, we refer to this as our educational partner goal. Within Goal 3, we successfully maintained active ELAC committees at all required sites, ensuring ongoing engagement and input from our English learner families. As we move forward, we are going to continue to strengthen family and community engagement by expanding opportunities for participation, learning, and collaboration. To better align those efforts, we have consolidated 2 actions in Goal 3, Action 3.3 and Action 3.7. They were rather redundant in the reading of it as we were doing the review. And so because of that, we created a new Action 3.8, which created a more coordinated approach to family and community engagement across the district. Goal 4. Goal 4 is what we refer to as our multilingual learner goal. Within Goal 4, a key success has been the impact of our multilingual learner support staffing, which contributed to an increase in the English learner reclassification rate over the last 3 years of 8.5% to 15.59%. That's not including where the reclass ended this year. To build on this progress, we're going to continue to expand integrated learning opportunities that support language acquisition, academic achievement, and student engagement. And as part of this work, we've refined Action 4.8 to expand integrated learning experiences that connect language development with academic learning and real-world problem solving. New for next year. So before reviewing this goal, I'd like to briefly explain what an equity multiplier goal is. So we are going to have a new goal for 26-27 for El Camino High School, and it's called an equity multiplier goal. The equity multiplier is additional state funding provided to schools where students may need more support to be successful. So when a school is identified for the funding, the district is required to create a specific LCAP goal that's focused on improving outcomes for students at that specific school. Schools are identified by the CDE, the California Department of Education, using factors such as student achievement, attendance, engagement, and graduation data. This helps ensure that additional resources are directed to schools where they can make the greatest difference for students. The purpose of the equity multiplier is to provide targeted supports, address barriers to success, and help improve student outcomes. With that background, I'm now going to review the equity multiplier goal and the actions that we've identified to support students at El Camino High School. So Goal 5 will be our new equity multiplier goal for El Camino High School specifically. This goal provides funding for a dedicated counselor who will support students with academic planning, credit recovery, graduation readiness, and social emotional well-being. The goal is to ensure students have a trusted adult to help them navigate challenges and stay connected to school. We will measure the impact of this support by monitoring those key metrics that you see there: attendance, graduation rates, STAR, ELA, and math performance, and student feedback from the Youth Truth Data survey about relationships and their connectedness to El Camino High School. Ultimately, this goal is designed to strengthen student support systems and help more students succeed both academically and personally at El Camino High School. I also wanted to provide to you, just for that you're in the know, our anticipated 26-27 LCAP meeting dates. So you do have them there if you do need to put them on your calendars now. I know that Gigi will make sure that everybody's added and included in that. And are there any questions?
Any questions about our business plan?
Yes, thank you for the presentation. So when the state is funding the added goal with our LCAP with El Camino, so how is the funding distributed? Is it to the district, to the teachers? How's it?
I am going to defer to my colleague, our master of coin over there, Mr. Bartolome.
That's good. I love it. Maybe that'll stick. So specifically, the action that was added in Goal 5 was for El Camino and the equity multiplier. So the equity multiplier is determined, by if you have a drastic change in student enrollment in a school or something to that effect, right?
And when you see significant discrepancies from one year to another
Yes.
in academics and their attendance.
So we
there's
know
just-
that we got that money this year, and we're going to spend it next year, which is why we created the goal.
And through the WASC process last year, and then as soon as we were notified this year, we had student forums and parent forums to get feedback. It was unanimous about the need for a counselor, and the students are they're asking for it. So it was.
Yeah, we get to decide how, we
Yeah.
decide what's best and how to spend the money. And
It was very clear in our educational partner engagement. It just rose to the top. So, yeah. You're welcome.
Any other questions or comments? No? Thank you, Amelia. We really appreciate it.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
Go ahead, Dr. Eter.
I'd also just really quick like to say something.
Yeah.
I want to say thank you. This is, Thursday will be my last day with Cotati Rohnert Park. I just want to say that it's been an absolute privilege to work here. It has been life-changing for me, coming off of retirement, coming back to this work, and you've really just provided me an inspiration, and I personally want to say thank you. After 30-plus years in this game, it's been a blessing to be able to work in this, and Dr. Ituri, just to get to have the opportunity to be able to work with you for the 3 years that I did, I greatly appreciate it, and just the friendships that I've made and so on. So you will be missed, but you will remain in my heart forever, so for sure. Thank you.
Well, thank you. I wanted to say thank you to you. I can't beat that. But you've done an amazing job for this district for the last 3 years. And your presentation, you just have this amazing way of getting information delivered to all of us. And I'm so impressed with all the progress that we've made, and your support of making sure that all of those things happened has been really wonderful for this district. So thank you for setting such a high standard for us, Amelia.
Absolutely.
We really appreciate it, and we will carry on the work. So thank you.
I appreciate it. It's been my honor. So thank you.
Amelia, before you get down, I have to tell
Absolutely.
you, the first time I met you was in an LCAP meeting. And I walked in and I sat down, and this lady who I didn't know at all was like, "Oh, Trustee Wing, how are you? I have a couple questions for you." And I'm like, "Who the heck is this lady, and why does she know so much about our district?" I thought you were a very well-informed parent, and you scared the crap out of me. And then they were explained who you were and what you did. And from the first moment to now, and I sure will continue on, I have always been impressed by your knowledge and your delivery, and I just want to thank you for your passion for our students.
Humbly, I thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
All right, the Master of Coin is up next. John Bartolome. I know, might be a thing now. Oh, wait. Okay, you start just start walking. Okay. I have to do 12B, public hearing on preliminary local control accountability plan, LCAP. The floor is now open for public comment. Seeing no public comment, I close the hearing. All right, 12C. John Bartolome will now be presenting the 2026-27 preliminary budget. Item 12D will be a public hearing to solicit the recommendations and comments of the public regarding the specific actions and expenditures to be updated in the 26-27 preliminary budget. John, the floor is yours.
Hello, everyone. I'm here to present the adopted budget report for the 26-27 school year. I know I was just up here a couple weeks ago, and there aren't a lot of changes to the current year budget that I'm going to talk about today, but I am going to talk about the budget and I have some slides on some more detail around the governor's May revision that I think I talked a little bit about last meeting. So the goals and related expenditures in the LCAP align with the district's budget. The LCAP and proposed budget are presented tonight for final adoption and approval at our next meeting. The proposed budget is only an initial blueprint for revenues and expenditures, since the preparation of the adopted budget occurs before the state has enacted its budget and before actual revenues and expenditures are known for the current year. There's a lot of work to be done, obviously, on the state side before the budget is adopted, but hopefully that gets done at the end of this month. So I have these next couple slides on all my presentations for the budget adoption, just to show you where we are in the state budget process and then the district budget process. As you know, these are year-long things for us to kind of prepare on what the next year's budget is going to be in the years out. It's been pointed out to me that on this slide, you know, there's just dates. It's really XX dates just means that this is when it comes out on a yearly basis, not specific to 1 year. A couple things about the May revision. I think I talked a little bit about last time, but you know, a lot of the significant income growth in the 26-27 revenue budget for the state is fueled by the capital gains in the current year. And, you know, I think we've talked about this many times, but it's really, the majority of the growth is from 5 companies and the AI revolution that we're currently in. You know, we're talking about, or he's talking about existing, you know, shoring up existing programs instead of creating new ones, so that's good. And there's a lot of one-time money coming our way. I budgeted just over $4 million, and it could be more than that. It really depends. I try to take a conservative approach on that, but that's all restricted dollars on the restricted side of the budget. I'll talk more about this, but the kind of add-on to the LCFF calculator on top over the over the COLA is for this thing in green here. It's not you can't say it's not an unfunded mandate if they give us money for it, but you know, we're going to be potentially having to pay employees more for paid pregnancy disability leave. And then there was quite a bit of, thankfully, you know, long time coming, special education funding, additional special education funding, which helps the, you know, general fund, obviously, from making a little bit less of a contribution to special ed next year. And the bad news is that while it's a reduced number, the governor still under appropriating the Proposition 98 or education funding by about 3.9 billion. But so just some good points. $6 billion over is up more than $6 billion than the previous report, which was the governor's budget in January. The May revision provided significant increases, like we kept talking about, in ongoing, on the formula dollars, and one-time resources to districts. So the COLA we established has been established at 2.87% with an additional 1.44% increase to the formula. Doesn't apply to all. The 1.44 doesn't apply to all programs. And as I said earlier, it does come with some spending requirements as of right now. And then the 3.9 billion, again, under appropriated, which is several $1 million for the district if we were to be funded at what Prop 98 should be. So there's always risks, and there's risks in our budget as well. But the uncertainty around future economic conditions, like the market, stock market, which is what the state budget is heavily reliant on capital gains from our top 1% earners in the state, and any of those proposed tax initiatives on taxpayer behavior and revenue stability could have a major impact on the state budget, which is why he's probably holding back 3.9 billion. There's some other things there that we've talked about before. I don't want to read the whole thing to you, but there's always risks. COLA, even though we are getting a 4.31% COLA, it might look, and thankfully we got this with the budget cuts that we did, because if we didn't, we would still be deficit spending, and you'll see that in a little bit. I think we need at least a 5% COLA to match the increase in expenditures that we see year over year. So the key budget assumptions for our district includes you'll see a little bit more about this in a second, but the Department of Finance COLA funding assumptions, which is the best practice. Step and column movement for all bargaining groups increases our expenditures by 1.5% annually. We do know what the health and welfare cost increases are going to be for 26-27, and I was pretty specific in this line. Kaiser was a cost increase of 0.5%. I think I made some notes on something. Hold on. About 58% of the participants in the district are in Kaiser, but then the Anthem Blue Cross PPO health and welfare increase was 8%, and 32% of our employees, or 32% of the participants in health and welfare are in. So when you add all that together, or when you cost that out for everyone that's involved, it was about a 4% increase, which is what I was budgeting for. And then I'm assuming a 4% increase for both in subsequent years. We assume the STRS and PERS rates, and then these are moving targets. So I did since for third interim, which I just reported to you last week, a couple weeks ago. For 26-27, I decreased our enrollment projections, and by a little bit, and in so doing, decreased the ADA. But that was offset by the 1.44% increase in COLA, so we're still looking good. And then in 27-28, I have us enrollment-wise decreasing a little bit, which means we'll be funded at this point we'll be funded at the 26-27 ADA amount, and then in 28-29 we'll be funded on the current ADA for that year. It's you know, those are just shots in, you know, really, really conservative projections. So the big thing is that I did do this for this report that I didn't do for third interim. For 27, 28, I restored the furlough days that we all agreed with all our groups, and rolled back the reduction in employer-paid health benefit contributions, returning the employer share for dental, vision, and life insurance from 80 to 90%. That was about a $50,000 difference for us. What I didn't do was return the positions that we cut due to and that would have been detrimental to our budget if I did that. And quite frankly, the budget 26, 27, we didn't get to realize all the cuts that we wanted to make, especially in special ed. There were a couple teaching positions that we could not do without. So you can see here on this slide, similar slide I show you every year, the COLA projections for 26, 27, which includes the 1.44% COLA investment by the governor, and then the out-year COLAs, which are, as we know, can go any direction from this point on. The PERS rate is going to go down a little bit in 26, 27, up again in 27, 28 as of right now, and then down significantly in 28, 29. I talked about the estimated ADA that we're going to be funded by in the out years, and then the enrollment numbers, the number of positions at the bottom there. We were, thank God we did the work that we did to reduce our budget, and it shows here in the number of positions that we have, because it's significantly different than it is currently. So you could see what the COLA investment and the additional LCFF investment equates to dollar-wise per the grade spans, and the TK add-on per ADA was increased as well to 5,704 ADA, which is just an additional amount for teaching a whole new grade level. Any questions so far?
So I think you just explained it, but you said we're getting 4% COLA, and then the 1.44 is dictated that it has to be spent a certain way out of that COLA, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean,
Well,
this slide
that's
finally.
the justification.
I was gonna ask that, and it-
Yeah. The justification for the 1.44% COLA is
so,
one of the reasons why they gave us the money is because we potentially have to pay more money out in paid pregnancy leave.
so I guess I'm just not getting, what is the additional LCFF investment?
Yeah, the 1.44% COLA, additional 1.44% COLA.
I see that, but what does that equate to? I mean, are we putting more teachers in classrooms, or
We're just getting more money per kid.
we're just getting more money for kids?
Yeah.
And we can spend it however, but it made it
Absolutely.
sound like there was a restriction on that 1.44.
It's just, I know.
So it's deceiving, but,
It is. It is a little. They can't say that it's an unfunded mandate when we have to pay more to employees for paid pregnancy leave.
right.
That's the difference. We don't budget for that necessarily, but that is the justification, one of the justifications for giving us more money. You know, they have a bunch of money in their coffers for this year because every month the receipts for the revenues that were coming into the state were more. So instead of giving it to us in straight COLA, they're saying, we're gonna give you an additional investment in the LCFF formula of 1.44%, but you potentially have to pay for this inequitable amount of, potentially inequitable amount of, paid pregnancy leave. Like, you know, that can vary district to district, right? We can have 15 people go on paid pregnancy leave, or 20, or, you know, we just don't, that is not a number I can plan for. But we are supposedly getting money for it in this case.
But just to summarize, you're saying that our increased cost is step and column, and then health benefits and stuff averages about 4%, and we're getting 4%, so that's like a wash, right?
No, because health and welfare costs don't make up 4% of our budget. It's just an increase of 4% of our health and welfare costs.
Okay.
Does that make sense? So it costs us $15 million to provide health and welfare costs. That's not our budget.
Right.
We're gonna increase, I'm projecting that we're gonna increase health and welfare costs by 4% year over year.
Okay. Of that element, but that
Yeah.
element doesn't equal the 4% of the total.
Correct.
Right.
There are other costs that, you know, we increase every year.
Right, no, I understand that.
Our total expenditures increase year over year by more than 4%, in my opinion.
I'm just trying to get a grasp. Will that COLA cover all our other increasing costs?
Yeah, yeah, you're gonna see that in a second.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
Okay, good,
I have a question,
We are not deficit spending
Okay.
in the next couple of years.
good.
before you move on, John.
Yeah.
So what did we do before when, a teacher went out on pregnancy leave? Why is all of a sudden the state saying, oh, here's some, huh? They didn't get paid?
They didn't get paid for as much time, that's specific, maybe, I don't know, I don't wanna put Rachel on the spot, but there's a certain amount of time that employees who are are having kids can take time. They're proposing, the state is proposing that we be responsible for more time off.
Oh, let's say they want to take 3 months before they give birth, then, because before you worked it, you got paid up until like 6 weeks before you gave birth?
Well, so
It
I think
depends.
for the purpose of this presentation, the state is changing the mandate for districts and how they pay paid maternity leave or paid pregnancy leave. What that is doesn't really matter at this exact second, I don't think. So it was one way, now it's a new way. The new way potentially could cost us more. If no one goes out on paid pregnancy leave, we can spend that 1.44 on anything we want. If every person that
We get the
has
money.
the ability to go out on paid pregnancy leave goes out on paid pregnancy leave, John's gonna be up here telling us we're deficit spending. We have no way of knowing. Half the people that go out on paid pregnancy leave might not even know that this is their future in 9 months. So that's pretty much what you're trying to tell us,
Yeah,
right? Is
yeah.
Currently,
the
people
rules
use
are
leave.
changing, and it may or may not cost us more money. So the state's giving us money for this potential gap in what we currently have.
Just clarification, so is this just for pregnancy, or does it extend to all family leave?
The justification for the 1.44%, one of the reasons is that they're making a point to tell us is that it's for paid pregnancy leave.
Okay, so they're not saying that other family leave things
No.
could, yeah, okay.
Good question. Okay, so this slide shows the breakdown of our ADA and how much money we get per kid, base, grade span, and supplemental, which applies these rates to our actual projected ADA for the 26-27 school year. It's about $83.9 million in revenue from the LCFF funding formula. In addition to that, I think we keep talking about this additional investment in special ed. It's about $1,340 per AB 602 per funded ADA, which amounted to about $2 million more in special ed funding that we got, or that we're projected to get for 26-27. And then this slide shows the student support professional development discretionary block grant. Good Lord, SSPDD, something like that is what it goes by. We're gonna get about $900 per ADA. I booked about $4 million, so we could see some more, but this is one-time restricted dollars. This isn't ongoing money. And we have not, for the most part, spent this money yet. We brought back some one-time positions and added a one-time position to this funding stream that will be paid for, but for the most part, $4 million is not accounted for in anything yet. So our budget, again, the 83.9 million in LCFF funding, unrestricted. Total, we're looking at about $116 million combined. The other state revenue line in the combined, that's where that $4 million is on the restricted side of the budget. We have about $113 million in combined expenditures. So this is hopefully answering a question you had earlier. After all is said and done, we are going to have a surplus of $2.4 million in the unrestricted budget and about $2 million in the restricted budget. Potentially we're going to start off with a negative fund balance in our unrestricted budget. So, but we will be positive in both, and we'll have about a 4.5% reserve in 26-27, which is more than the minimum and better than what it is now. And just to depress you a little bit, the average unrestricted general fund plus Fund 17, which is what the 4% equates to for us in unified school districts for 24-25 across the average across the state was 21.89%. We are nowhere close to that. So before I show you the multi-year projection, I just want to tell you what it is again. It is a mathematical calculation used to estimate future year financial conditions. It's based on the industry standard. I'm using the Department of Finance COLA projections, the STRS and PERS projected rates, and what we use for health and welfare, which are three of our biggest line items. They're not predictions or forecasts. I'm gonna be wrong in the out years, most likely, and even probably in the 26-27 school year at some point. It's not a crystal ball. It's really not a tool for measuring wrongness. I'm using the most current information available. I know I say that all the time, but that's true. And as in all reports that I give, as the information changes, it's going to change our budget and outlook. So it looks quite well in this budget cycle. The 26-27 budget, as I said, unrestricted, $2.3 million. $2.4 million in surplus, 1.8 in 27-28, and another 1.9. If we can just take a breath, maybe we don't give all this money away next year. We can stay positive and build some reserves, but that remains to be seen, and I know my take. So, as usual, the areas of financial concern always is enrollment in ADA. ADA is so big. I think I probably went over it more in the budget advisory meeting, but I showed what each school's ADA was at P2. And, across the board, it wasn't where we want to be. So we need to continue to work on that. you know, the increases in general cost of doing business, there were a lot, I mean, I know the budget looks pretty good. There were some major increases that we have to account for and budget for, like transportation. Our cost to West County transportation went up $400,000 in 1 year. And that's because we have more kids, you know, it's a formula on how they charge us is by per kid, and you know, our transportation for special ed has increased over the time I've been here. Because we really only transport to one school, for all kids. You know, thankfully we got some additional special ed revenue, but our special ed costs are still really high. We're still contributing $20 million of our unrestricted budget to special ed. And then, as I said, you know, compensation cost pressures, and then, you know, as of right now, we don't have all of this one-time money that we're gonna receive next year spent yet, but, you know, we rely on one-time money to fulfill needs in our district for many things. And, you know, if we could just, you know, we need to wean off that eventually. So, all to say that this is a report that doesn't get certified, but it does need approval, and I suggest that we approve that the board adopt this budget as presented. I want to thank all the people that helped get this report together. Molly's in the house. She has a lot to do with it. You know, everyone at this table. Nikki, could not live without Nikki. And all the principals and leadership in the district have some input in this final report, and I just want to thank everyone for their help. Any question?
I have two questions, more like knowledge things. So the Prop 98, remind me again. So the problem of it not being fully funded isn't that he's basically writing an IOU. So it's a cash flow problem.
Yeah.
And then when we run out of cash, even though they owe us the money, then we go get it from the county or something like that, right? Didn't we have to do that a
No.
couple years ago?
And now I'm forgetting the exact
Okay.
percentages. The Prop 98 just says that Prop 98 is the education budget, and we get a certain percent of the state budget, period. We're due that amount. And just like, that's not me.
Nope.
Just like we have to give a multi-year projection. The state budget is a 3-year rolling budget as well, so, you know, they don't know what all the receipts and expenditures are for 24, 25, 26, 25, 26, you know.
Right.
So that's why they potentially owe us more money. And then they got to project what, you know, the next year's receipts are going to be. And that's what's the difficult thing to project, right? Like, you know, if we're getting so much money because of 5 companies, or the revenues
Right.
are increased by the capital gains of the employees of 5 companies, can we really rely on that to be the case next year or the year after for them to create a budget that, you know, that shows that that Prop 98 is getting X percent of the budget?
Okay.
So, I don't know, does that?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
that makes sense.
I have a question. On your other local revenue, it was saying that the casino, you're budgeting like 1.4 million, 26, 27. But, you know, they've got a big expansion going on. So what do you think in your crystal ball?
You know, I think from their perspective that they give us $1.4 million, and that's, you know, that is an agreement that they made, and that's really all I can comment on. I think I did try to ask about that to one of their lawyers once a few years ago, and he's like, you get what you get.
Oh, so
We're-
it's
we're-
kind of locked
we're-
in, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I think there's an agreement,
It's with the city, isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah, I think, when they built the casino.
So-
They're in conversation with us, but we report to them annually, and we're waiting to hear back from them.
It's not like we get a percentage of their revenues or something like that. It's a
It's
fixed
locked in-
grant that
it's a
we get.
fixed number.
And
Yes.
there's an inflator, like a kind of CPI inflator that is applied to the money that we get. So we do get a little bit more year over year, but,
And I just want to mention how grateful we are
and
to
we are so grateful,
to
so,
Great
so
Rancheria
grateful.
for their contributions to
Yeah,
us, and
it's a huge
that
amount of money.
it's tremendous what they do for us. So we're very grateful to
They
them.
give us more money than our partial tax brings in, so, I mean, that.
Yeah,
that
it's
tells-
impressive. I'm thankful too. I was just wondering, if
Yeah.
it was based on their revenue, it isn't. Okay, that's fine.
And then I have one more question, at very high level. So for special ed funding, and we are going to get more this year, is special ed funding, do they say, here's a percent? How does it calculated of how much money we get? Is it based on the number of kids that actually are eligible, enrolled, qualified
There-
for
there-
special
there've been
ed? Or is
several-
it just a percentage of like, we just assume 5% of your kids
Right.
are, so there you go?
No, there's, the funding model has changed, in my history in Sonoma County as a CBO. It is now based, because there are many different iterations, but it's really just now, a certain amount of money based on our ADA, because all kids are general ed kids, all kids can be special ed kids, so there's no differentiation
Okay.
there, and there certain amounts are taken off the top of the money that the SELPA gets for certain programs and whatnot, but basically what we're getting is an amount per our ADA.
Like a percentage of our EDA.
Mhm.
Okay, so if we have one kid on an IEP or 1,000 kids on an IEP, we would get the same
Correct.
money. Okay, thank you. Any other questions or comments? Okay, then at this time, the floor is now open for public comment. Okay, hearing no public comment, I close the public hearing on the 26-27 preliminary budget, and we will vote on it at our next meeting. All right.
Thank you, Joan.
Yes. All righty. Item 12E, public hearing and approval of resolution number 2026-34, resolution of the governing board of the Cotati-Roanoke Park Unified School District increasing school facility fees as authorized by Government Code Section 65995B3. I will now open the public hearing regarding the proposed developer fee justification study and adjustment of the district's Level 1 developer fees. Education Code Section 17620 authorized school districts to levy developer fees on new residential and commercial industrial construction to help fund the construction and modernization of school facilities needed to accommodate students generated by new development. The district has prepared a developer fee justification study demonstrating the need for and justification of the proposed fees. Based on the study and State Allocation Board's 2026 fee adjustment, the district is proposing to collect developer fees at the maximum rate authorized. The proposed fee is $5.38 per square foot of residential construction and ranging from 3 cents to 87 cents per square foot for commercial industrial construction. At this time, I will open the public hearing and invite any comments from members of the public regarding the proposed developer fee justification study and developer fee adjustment. All right, no public. Any trustees have any questions?
What was the fee before this?
Less than $5.38.
How much less?
I have that somewhere. I have it like on my desk,
Okay.
taped to my computer. It's a small increase, but might be less than $1
And
and
ju-
less than 20 cents for commercial.
And just a reminder, even though this is $5.38 a square foot for residential and 87 cents for commercial, doesn't come close. I mean, it raises the cost of building a home, but it doesn't cover the infrastructure cost, for building a school, if we, have that. that cost, or,
Thank you.
and/or.
It was, I'm
And
sorry.
or maintaining our facilities. And just a reminder, our last facilities summary report predicted $1 billion in costs. So at one hand, we are, this is good. On the other hand, we need a lot more than just this to fund our schools.
We're using as much, maximizing every opportunity.
517 and 84 cents was the previous rate.
20 cents. I'll take it. All right. Any other questions or discussion about Resolution 2026-34? Okay, then I'm going to close the public hearing. And can I get a motion to approve Resolution number 2026-34, the Governing Board of the Cotati Roanoke Park Unified School District increasing school facility fees?
So moved?
Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Roll call?
Trustee Johnson,
Yes.
Trustee Brown.
Yes.
Trustee Martin,
Aye.
Trustee Wing.
Yes. Resolution 2026-35, authorization for Maite Turi, Marcus Jamal Fields, John Bartolome, Molly Kohler, Kristen Hoff, Maya Russell Nava, Josh Savage, and Rachel Allen to sign on behalf of the Board of Trustees. It's what we do every year. We're
Yeah.
just updating the people. All right. Can I get a motion to approve 2026-35?
I move.
Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Roll call?
Trustee Johnson,
Yes.
Trustee Brown,
Yes.
Trustee Martin,
Aye.
Trustee Wing.
Yes. Ratification of 2026-27 RIPSIA bargaining agreements.
Thank you. So this evening, I'm asking for your approval of the ratification of 4 agreements. The first one is a co-teaching memorandum of understanding, which outlines the expectations for both general and special education teachers who are participating in co-teaching as an instructional practice. The second is an MOU related to the workload and expectations for education specialists and speech and language pathologists. The third is a MOU related to middle school specific schedules. And the fourth is actually an amendment to the collective bargaining agreement that updates Article 11, focusing on safety, and it breaks it into 2 categories, one for safety related to facilities and one for safety related to students.
Great. Any questions about the ratification?
A little bit. So the middle school, so Wednesday will be a minimum day. Is that correct?
Correct.
And is
That's
that,
how
is
it's
that
been.
unusual? No, we usually do that, right?
No, this is a updated MOU with some slight changes, but similar to one we've had the last couple of
Thank
years.
you.
Can I get a motion to approve ratification 2026-27 RIPSIA bargaining agreements?
I move.
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
Okay. All in favor?
Wait, one question.
Yeah.
Do I need to abstain
Oh.
from the special ed? Is that
Oh, you're
$4? Does that mean?
Is she an ed specialist or she is?
She is an ed specialist, so that would be one of the MOUs specifically relates to her workload.
Yes.
So I think I need to abstain.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so we have a first and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any
Abstain.
abstentions?
Abstain.
Motion passes 3-0 with 1 abstention.
Thank you for noticing that, Trustee Brown.
Approval of CSEA MOU regarding food services for the 26-27 school year.
So tonight, we're asking for your approval for a memorandum of understanding regarding food services. This MOU, which was bargained over a couple of sessions with our labor partners in CSEA, provides some additional workdays to cover the expansion of extended learning programs when school is not in session. And additionally, because of the special funding that we get specifically for food service, it allows us to give a 2% hourly rate increase to them for the 2026-27 school year only. It's not precedent setting and would end at the end of next school year.
Great. And we have
Unless
our
we-
extended school year and summer schools in session right now, right?
Correct.
Yay, exciting. All right. Any questions about the MOU regarding food services? Can I get a motion to approve CSEA MOU regarding food services for the 26-27 school year?
I move.
A second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 4-0. Approval of CSEA food service salary schedule for the 26-27 school year.
So this salary schedule is just reflective of specifically the different positions that work in food services and the 2% increase that I spoke about that's part of the MOU.
Great. Any questions? Can I get approval of the CSEA food salary schedule for 26-27 school year?
So moved.
A second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 4-0.
Thank you
The
very much.
next, J through A and AF are first readings. Are there any questions or comments or discussion on any of our first reads? All right. Last, we have acceptance of gifts and donations to school and district.
Yes, Monte Vista received umbrellas for shade from Walls Painting and Construction, $1,100, and we're very grateful for their donation.
Yes. Can I get a motion to accept gifts and donations to school and district?
So moved.
A second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 4-0. With that, I will see everyone on June. Oh, any future business or agenda items? Yeah, we'll put it on John's master of coin over there. All right, everyone have a wonderful couple weeks, and we'll see you on June 23rd. Meeting adjourned.